Is Diddy in the grease or is Diddy in the grease? Cassie, according to TMZ, was one of the people helping out in the investigation against Diddy. Don't forget to hit the like button. You just got here. I understand it. I know. Just go on and hit the like button right now so, they don't think you're a bot. We got real people that show up here. The like button is free. It's not going to charge you anything. Just press the like button so that when we get started, we can just start rolling. Rolling on a river. Now, let's get into this because we got a lot of news to share. Everybody who thought I was lying in the last couple of days, my video was getting 40,000s and 50,000s because I was telling you about the people the Homeland Security had interviewed or was interviewing. See, we don't know what they said to the feds, but we knew that these people were being interviewed. Now, what they actually told them, well, that's up to them. Now, Cuba Gooding Jr., we already told you what was going on there. They said Homeland Security didn't interview anybody about Epstein. That's not true. That is not true. They actually interviewed some of the girls, the victims. Epstein did some type of satanic ritual to one of the girls' house, left a dead animal in her yard, like some heart was out of it, some voodoo stuff, and sent a message back to her saying that if she go back and cooperate. Plus, they had a police officer there that was on the payroll. So, man, look, what I'm telling you is that situation, you got to learn from that. Now, this is a whole different type of case. These are like somewhat high profile. Cuba Gooding won an Oscar. Thanks, Gold Highlight. Hit the like button. I told you when you come here, you're going to find out more than you would anywhere else. When you came here, who in the world has told you about them interviewing the chef? Not one person has reported they interviewed the chef. We are the only people that have definitely told you about Diddy and the chef. Nobody else. Right? Well, I got to toot my horn, toot. Yeah, they kind of sabotaging me right now, but it's all right. We used to it. Now, with that being said, nobody's told you about the Cuba Gooding Jr. Now, what also has been known? She's been damaged by Diddy. It's time to throw a party for her to get her mind right. Listen, y'all got to understand something. Y'all keep acting like she's a victim in this situation. This woman sued for money. If she really wanted to go after Diddy and she was really hurt, she could have made sure this man go down forever. but she didn't. She wanted the money. She would show me the money. Because in the end, that's what's going to keep her kids fed. At the end of the day, that is what's going to keep her kids fed. Yeah, so with all of this going on, you see people that are stuck. They stuck in motion because they can't believe all of the Diddyisms that's been going on. No. Well, they say she might have been responsible for getting the warrant for the raid when it was actually Little Rod. He was the smoking gun because he was somebody who was recently and frequently around Cassie. So that's going to hold more weight. Thanks, Princess. Yeah, a lot of people didn't get notified. Um, they've been coming after my page since the last couple of Diddy videos when I exposed a lot about the chef, about Cuba Gooding Jr., all those things, they start coming after you. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be aware at all times that this is what happens here. You know, you got to be astute. Yeah, I know. They doing everything in their power to stop me. Let that sink in, y'all. Everything in their power to stop who? Me. Now, does that make any sense? Why am I that important? Everybody else been talking about Diddy, no problems, right? Everybody else been talking about Diddy, it's been no problem. The whole world has made videos about Diddy. I make videos about Diddy. I am met with red tape at the door. They only do that when you are saying something because they hear what you're saying. This guy knows too much. So y'all think of it like, man, this dude's talking rhetoric. Dude, don't be knowing what he talking about. Dude, it's things that's called a paper trail. Nobody wants to do something to a position where they be sued. So they want to make sure they cross every T, dot every I. But yeah, there's been a lot of, sabotaging. There's been a lot of things that ain't been going right. No, the only one that I know. Now, the Torre situation we spoke about on the Patreon. So everybody gets to hear that. That's only going to be on the Patreon. That's the only time we will address Torre and the allegation that he's making about his cousin. Now, what's weird in the situation and what stands out the most is what other people ain't telling you. What they ain't telling you is that all these people that they raving about, all these people that they jumping up in arms over, these are the same people that's screwing them over. These are the same people that do this. Do you think Diddy is the only guy out here? There's countless others. What did he do? Objectify women? They all are objectifying women. You can lock them all up over this. They didn't have freak offs. The girls was in it. She didn't did them, the crew. That stuff is happening in every camp, every hip hop camp. These women are willing to do that to be in that room for fame. And then when they don't get the fame and they don't get famous, now they want to get mad. Like the girl from Destiny, the Danity Kane. First of all, nobody would have knew who you were if it wasn't for Diddy making Danity Kane and putting y'all in there to hide the fact that y'all suck. He made a reality show with y'all that basically paid for the flop of an album y'all had. Y'all had one hit record and they milked it. So nobody would have known y'all. But then when he realized y'all too busy fighting with each other instead of working, he had to start getting rid of y'all. Cassie was more than a one-hit wonder. She was his girl. So they got history for years. So all of the things that she may have known, they might have interviewed her. We don't know what she said. We don't know what information she gave up. Cassie could have walked in there and said, well, yeah, that's what I said in the lawsuit. Can you be more specific? No, I cannot. She's not under an obligation to cooperate with them. She can come in there and do an interview, or she can have her lawyer turn it down. TMZ is saying she's cooperating, which wouldn't make a bunch of sense if she's being paid by Diddy. If she agreed to a financial situation, I don't think that's very ideal for her to be going down that road. Absolutely. Now, what would you believe if you saw someone come in and make the statements that you saw everybody else make? Diddy, they got a lot of people to interview to try to corroborate information to see if there's enough to get an arrest warrant on Diddy. See, once you arrest Diddy, now it becomes a case. It's not a case yet. They're investigating to see if there's anything they can do. This guy talked about drugs. So now they got the drug mule, and they're trying to get the drug mule to tell them what they know. They stay on my page. They know there's situations I know that I haven't even talked about because I ain't trying to mess up nothing for Diddy. I ain't trying to mess up nobody's case or be thrown in the middle of it. But they know the stuff I could say. Come on now, they know that.
You been mind fucked before?
I don't think so.
I'm mind fucking you right now.
You are?
Can you feel my dick fucking your mind?
I can't really feel anything.
See, that's it. That's the art of it. I'm mind fucking the shit out of you.
Hope you're wearing a condom, because I have a dirty mind.
Now, you know, it's funny in comedy when you look back at stuff like that. But Diddy sometimes has no script in a movie, and he basically plays himself. And as a music executive, he was in there doing what a music executive does. Now, my thing is, yeah, I heard everybody call the Gene Deal a Fed and all this stuff, saying that he gonna testify against Diddy and all this stuff, and it was like, whoa, dude, you finna be a rat, you know, like it was other people saying that, and that ain't same game. Somebody else is saying that. I'm not me. I really didn't even have any words about it. I don't know why he would want to be. I mean, like I said, he don't like Diddy. Okay, so he might sign up. I guess that's like me and LeBron, but I don't know LeBron. He actually known Diddy before, so like I do not know Diddy, but through third party people, I know him. Have I met him before? Absolutely. He was a weirdo when I met him. He was weirded out by the fact I was there. He felt very uncomfortable being in the presence of me. That's his fan base. No, sir. See, that's where you're wrong, John. I know you're trying to make it like it's some drama, but no, he didn't make me do anything. I chose to do everything. You got to remember, I called MREC TV. I called MREC, and he brought Gene on the phone. I'm like, I'm trying to find out, do we have a problem? For real, for real. So that's what that was about. And then we came to a great understanding as men. We were able to talk stuff out. So I don't have a problem with either one of them. But that don't mean like everything they do, I have to agree with it. Just like any other man. You know, I would say, oh, okay, that I agree with Gene on. If he do something that I don't agree with, I'll just say, oh, well, I don't agree with that one. You know, I'm a man. So that's just how people do it. Yeah, we ain't got no drama with them. MREC has come on my page before. He was in the chat. Now on my side, ain't no drama with them. All right, I just don't have to agree with. See, y'all believe every time to be cool with somebody, you just got to be shaking your head in agreement to everything somebody said. I don't see him right, but yeah, okay, man. But once again, I'm not the one calling Gene a snitch. I'm saying that's what social media is doing about him testifying, saying that he would testify against Diddy and all that. That's how they took it, not me. I didn't even care enough to make an opinion on it. Now, back to this Diddy situation. I brought it up because it was mentioned in the chat, Cash Mark. I'm reading your comments just like I just read yours. And by the way, the super chat works. Super chat worked. The Cash App is Carcino. Hit the like button up. Let's roll. Now, going into this situation with Cassie, she's put in a situation that she's probably not familiar with, she's not comfortable with, but she's in it. So now, being the fact that she's in this situation, her name is going to be looked at in a light that she's probably not comfortable with. Now, when you have all these people that look up to you or say, "Oh man, you was good on GTA," like most people know her songs from GTA. Diddy did a deal with the game makers of Grand Theft Auto, and right away, every time you got in the car, that song was playing. Every time they got in the car and you stole the car, that song was playing. Y'all know it's true. Y'all play GTA. When you see people do things that don't make sense, then you can start to decipher what's going on. You said Prince Harry was named. Right. Anybody can name somebody in a lawsuit, but you have to deal with the consequences of that. Prince Harry's name was mentioned just to be mentioned. He wasn't mentioned in any crime. He wasn't mentioned. He was there to just mention star power. You see what I'm saying? They brought him in just for star power. Because you're going to need a face to sell what it is that you're doing. Oh, yeah, when you can't put your face on it. I've always been somebody who has stood 10 toes down epically when it came to what others should be doing and shouldn't be doing. So when all of these people start talking about all the other issues of what's going on in society, oh, this isn't right. Society says we should be doing this. Society said this is wrong. We need to be doing that. Well, I tell you what ain't right that we see every day that's taking place. You have all these people that have come forward and said different things. And not one of them has stood by Diddy publicly. Let that stand in. Not one of them has stood by Diddy. Wrong. If you was on the Patreon, you would already know about the Prince William situation. Prince William met Diddy back when he came here to the United States to just kick it. This was many years ago. This is back when Graduation was out with Kanye West. Kanye was there with Diddy when they met Prince Harry. Prince Harry don't hang out at Diddy's house and at parties. It's not what he's doing. Mm-hmm. Oh, Lola, if they don't do this, all the celebrities are going down. Whenever a high-profile guy go, all of a sudden, all the black guys start going. Right? See, Diddy fell under a false sense of security that he had the same rights and privileges as those who really had wealth and power. You needed them. They didn't really need you. Stevie J is doing what he's always been doing. Some people are comfortable being under other people, under that umbrella, under being protected and just playing a position. They're not really independent men like that. Stevie J has always been that running gun guy, getting into wild sex parties and all that. I mean, he's wild. But he stays under the umbrella of Diddy. I don't know if they interviewed Mr. Bentley. I don't know if they went as far as back as to grab Mr. Bentley. But they might have. I don't know what they're asking him. I can only tell you about the people I know. See, I didn't know for a fact that they grabbed Cassie. TMZ put that out in the forefront for the whole world to see. Well, you got to understand with Diddy, there's a party, there's an after party, and where everything go down at is the after party. What y'all talking about, the freak offs, that's the after party. And it ain't gonna be too many people in that. That's gonna be a handful of people. That's gonna be 4 to 5 people max. And there's no security. I mean, they're security guards only. Well, what hurts Cassie case is that they would have to, if they're going to listen to Cassie, they're going to have to listen to his former CEO that used to work with him, Roger Bond. They'll have to listen to Roger Bond. And Roger Bond has flipped his story a total 180. You're going to have to get the other side of it, because there's been plenty of times Roger said he's walked those women back to the door, and neither one of them had no distraught look or, oh my God, I can't believe what just happened to me. Those women was like, okay, it's business as usual. See y'all next time. Call me up. They was just nothing really to be said. There's no conversation. Some of them don't talk. They just get their things and they leave in the morning. Mm-hmm. Now, here's another thing that people didn't think about. There's an IRS situation on a lot of this. If you're talking about different type of payments that was coming in illegally, that was being done, money under the table, cash deals. If it's big enough, the IRS might look into it. So now he could be facing more financial woes. They already embarrassed the fact that he only has $100 million. He got $100 million out there in loans in those situations. So they already been dragging his name through the mud. Cassie is just like any of these young fans that you see outside. She was a girl that was singing in a doggone nightclub, begging to get into this scene. Begging. And what's end up happening to her? Who tipped off the media about the raid? The same people that's suing. The lawyers. The lawyers called up TMZ and said, oh, the raid is going down right now. Right. You think the IRS and tax evasion ain't finna be brought into this? This is in conjunction. Because, see, they're going to be looked at with egg on their face if they come up with nothing. So now they got to manufacture. So they got to find something that looks like a print just to bring somebody in. My thing is, I don't support or not support. I have no dog in the fight. I'm in a neutral zone, just reporting on the evidence that's been provided. I'm not about crucifying a man because the world wants to see it and everybody else is doing it. You see, this is how they did black men back 200 years ago. Hell, not even about 100 years ago, they were doing this stuff. They would make up a lie, get everybody to believe, and everybody would jump on board. We, as black people, would know it was a goddamn lie. But everybody else who was white believed it, so they had to say. Imagine living in that time. In my opinion, I think Cassie did these things willingly. I don't think she did anything neutrally. Oh, I've seen the Cassie tape. Hell, I got Cassie's tape. Cassie's tape was everywhere. I would show y'all right here. We've seen Cassie's tape before. She didn't look like a woman who was being forced to do anything. She was blinded by celebrity. Listen, let me tell y'all something that happened. 50 Cent got Cassie's tapes. They sent it to 50 Cent and said, here's the tape. He called Diddy and said, hey man, this is your girl. This is your girl out here on tape. What you really want to do? And he was like, for real? He sent it to Diddy. Diddy already had it. But when Fifth sent it to him and called him, he was like, man, good looking. Man, you know, that's love. Way to go. You know, and he was like, man, you know, is everything all right? And he was like, I got it. And then he took care of it from there. But everybody noticed already. Like this was no surprise. So it's not shocking to me when you start seeing stuff like this, because oh yeah, those images was everywhere. Everybody's seen that tape in Cassie back when it was going out. This was years ago. To y'all, this is brand new news. To us, this is non-news. Cassie was posing for these photos, bro. She was posing for the camera. If somebody didn't want to be recorded, you know how the people act when they don't want to be recorded. I mean, look, how do you think Terrence got the part? How do you think Perfect Match, that movie? Who was a quiet personal sponsor of that movie? Diddy and BET. BET and Diddy were financiers of that movie. How do you think Cassie got to be the lead? And he was cool with Terrence J being that guy to be all over Cassie in the movie. Don't worry. On the Patreon, y'all will figure it out. Y'all will get there. Y'all wheels are turning a little bit, right? It's turning a little bit, but it ain't all the way there. Absolutely. Freak offs. Right. I mean, look, Terrence J is going to be the lead in a movie. Cassie J. Reed. You know what I'm saying? So y'all got to understand, this thing is bigger than what you probably ever could imagine. Well, No, the narratives never change. Y'all think they do, but they don't. Well, this is on TMZ, so I guess TMZ decided to risk their whole credibility and start lying on Diddy to try to get some attention. Now, here's some other information you don't know. They've interviewed countless people you don't know. They interviewed the fired housekeeper that was in the news. No, what was it? I think it was not this home, but the other LA home when the incident happened. He later sold that house, but they want to interview him about what happened at that house. They want to interview another former employee that they got from one of the people they interviewed who gave them a name of somebody that they should interview. We don't know if they got a hold of those people or not, but there's some people that they were told by the people they interviewed saying, this is the name of a person you should go grab. And you should talk to this person and ask them about such and such. They have more information about it. Now, you have to understand also is that this is an interview. You're not obligated to cooperate if you're not being charged. Like, you don't have to be a witness because that's what they're saying. We talk to witnesses. You don't have to cooperate. There's no subpoena. Only if you're subpoenaed to go in do you have to go in and cooperate. You could go in and just say, F y'all, and walk out. You really can. It's legal. It's your right. You can have your lawyer do the talking for you. You can have your lawyer come in and get this thing done. Oh, you're going to find out all about that on the Patreon. Oh, believe me. I keep telling y'all don't know everything yet. You're going to find out. There's a lot of stuff I'm not saying because I'm not trying to trip Diddy up and put the feds on, so some other stuff. Wait till this case is over. Then we'll talk all about it. Yeah, well, I wasn't in the picture taking mood when I saw Diddy. He was just freaked out I was there. Him, F. Gary Gray, and Floyd Mayweather. They were talking about doing a picture together and starting a production company. So that's what the conversation was about in the room. Like, we need to put out our own movies, and we should be able to do that. We got our director. We have F. Gary Gray. You're going to produce and you're going to direct all the movies. So we can make our own movies. Like Floyd was like, we got the money. We put it up. Man, we going to get that. We put the movie out. We do this. Man, we'll make all our money back just off the hood. That's how they were saying. They were like, man, the hood bootleg the movies, man. Man, you might not even get the profit back. And that's too much of a risk. We're going to need investors and partners. And he was like, I got the investors and partners. We just got to make it happen. So all this stuff in this conversation is happening. Right? And they was doing like a dry run. Like, let's produce a movie. Let's put it out. Let's go from there. And then we'll see what happens. Now, this happened in the kitchen of Floyd Mayweather's house. I would happen to be in the walkway, right? I'm just like, okay, we're in the walkway area. And while we're in the walkway area, there was Diddy. He was just happened to be walking by and he just got startled. Looked like he saw a ghost, like I scared him or something. And he was just like, who was that guy? Imagine somebody being terrified of seeing me. I'm not intimidating. And then he goes to Floyd asking, like, who's that guy there? Like, is he recording us? Like, what is he doing? I didn't have my phone. At that time, I don't even think I had a phone that even recorded like that. I'm trying to think, did we even have phones? I know we probably had camera phones at that time, but it wasn't like it is today. So, no, I was definitely not recording stuff on my phone. I had a real camera on me at all times, but I wasn't doing that. Well, don't blame us, blame TMZ. If Cassie get hurt, blame TMZ because it's plastered all over TMZ. So don't blame me. Blame TMZ. But it's great. Everybody love to blame the black folk. You see how that work? They love to blame old black folk. They love to put a smoke for the brother. There it is. Diddy, Cassie cooperate with the feds and probe. Others talking as well. Oh, did we not know that already? Did you not hear that from Sino? TMZ is not God. Yeah, well, they playing God. Thanks again for the super chat, bro. Diddy is not going to jail or prison. Well, Homeland Security, we know they're not going to jail. They're not on trial. Well, it's kind of hard to do that on a civil case. You got a civil case that's been settled, and then you have another civil lawsuit coming out that he's actually fighting. Well, I don't think she has an ex to grind anymore because she's getting her money. He settled with her. So that's all she wanted. So she was fine. She dropped the lawsuit, everything, because they come to an agreement. FBI is involved with Homeland Security because it's assisting. This happens before. It's not something unusual. Sometimes the FBI handles different portions that Homeland Security can't do. So they work in connected adjointment. So it's just like if you are in a suburb neighborhood, right? And the police is called. And sometimes it might be a big enough case, and your police department might have just 2 cars. Sometimes they could borrow cops from other neighboring towns and suburbs. So they can come over, see the situation, assess it, and deal with it as well, accordingly. Now, is it right? Is it wrong? People have their own analogies to it, right? Do their own little add-on about rights and wrongs, what to do, what not to do, what's appropriate, what isn't appropriate. One thing's for sure. Diddy name was listed. Diddy name was on that paperwork as the one that she was going after, and she was reporting all of these things that happened to her. Now, there is no subpoena for Cassie to have to cooperate with Homeland Security. TMZ has gotten a lot of things wrong. Remember when they reported Lil Wayne had died when he was here in Chicago? They wanted to be first so bad, they declared the man deceased. Oh, I'll never forget that, because I remember how everybody felt. Like, man, Weezy gone, man, Weezy gone. And then Birdman had to say, man, y'all stop lying, man. Birdman had to clear that up. And how foul is that? Can you imagine how foul that is? All the people that he loved, that hear about that, you can put them in a state of cardiac arrest. Look how they handled Kobe Bryant situation. They told everybody the whole family died in a plane crash, helicopter crash. The whole family was gone. Then they said Rick Fox, his former teammate Rick Fox, was on the helicopter with him. So now, before people were even notified by the police officers, they're finding out about it that way. Homeland Security has always, that's just a new name for the CIA. But Homeland Security is just that. It's all a derivative. They're part of the same racket. Okay? So don't be caught in the labels. See, the labels can have you confused. The labels will have you all messed up. Oh, definitely. Because they don't get it. When you're somebody that's not understanding the process and how it's going on. Hold on. I mean, really, do you really want to go down this avenue? It's all feds. Well, basically it is. You got 3 different offices. Homeland Security was, designed to go after people, and they could circumvent different laws. They could say this is Homeland Security, like this is a matter of Homeland Security, which means your constitutional rights could be violated, and they could do what they want to do, that they call the Patriot Act, after 9/11. The Patriot Act was a big, big book with a bunch of laws that was very confusing, very all over the place. and nobody understood anything. Well, see, that's the case. When no one understands anything, that's how it's very easy to get confusion. And then you can do what you want. Well, when you want to do what you want to do, I mean, what are you going to do? That's what I'm trying to figure out is what is your solution to the problem? Oh, that's not true. But you got to understand there's some people that are making adjustments around the world for different reasons. They're making their own plans. They're moving under the power of their own whim. And everybody else just has to find their way and make their way into a figure eight. I'm not trying to help the investigation at all. See, that's my thing is I'm not part of the investigation. So I'm not going to volunteer any more like any type of information that Homeland Security is using. They on my Patreon. They got agents on my Patreon. See, what they're very unaware of on my Patreon is that I know everybody that signs up. Yeah, I got all the info. It goes to me because it's my page. When you come on Casino for Life Patreon, ain't no anonymous stuff going on. Thanks, Black Sigma, for the super chats. The rest of y'all can super chat as well. We appreciate the love and support. You want a cash app? The cash app is Carcino, Karceno. He said all it took was 19 men going through 2 towers and nobody answered the questions. Who issued those visas to them with no one vetting them? Well, it's a lot of things going on, man, that we know the answers to, and we don't ask no questions. The question is, why would they assassinate an unarmed Osama bin Laden who was unarmed? Why didn't you arrest him and have him stand trial? Why wouldn't you question him to see if you can get more information out of him? Why wouldn't you do that? Why would you take a man who you listed as unarmed and assassinate him when he hasn't even stood a trial? You've been trying to push democracy in those lands forever. Instead of a dictatorship, y'all want to put democracy over there, but what you did was not democracy. That was very diplomatic. Nobody ever asked any questions, did they? Now that I'm saying it, it makes total common sense, don't it? But nobody's going to argue with the assassination of another man without a fair trial. You see how America was just screaming for blood? Take his life! Kill him! Scary, ain't it? Because all they got to do is say one thing to turn that mob against you, and it could be a complete lie. And that whole mob would be screaming for your head. How you gonna show the body of a man that's been deceased years before that whole incident even happened? Died from liver failure. Years before they had to just eventually cash him out. They kept replaying old tapes of him every time there was an election, claiming that we can't play the audio to show you what he's saying, but he was in his video declaring that he wants this person to win the election. To try to get a victory, they had this video of Osama bin Laden just sitting down with his people and just having a discussion where they mute the audio saying we can't because they might be sending a message. We can't go into playing the audio, but the media is going to tell you what he's saying and saying that he wants John Kerry to win and not Trump. I mean, not Bush. He wants Kerry to win. Well, people do what they can and other people do what they must. So none of this surprises me, B. You acting like I'm surprised by anything that I see develop. No, I'm not. Now, he said, I remember they announced it at the Phillies game, put it on the big screen and all. I remember when they called Saddam Hussein. They called Saddam Hussein on my birthday. We was at a Christmas party, and the Christmas party happened to be on my birthday. So it was officially my birthday. And we went out after the Christmas party. And that was that. Yeah, exactly. And they just keep saying and keeping him alive was part of the game plan. Like let's keep him along until they just couldn't milk it anymore and said, okay, it's time to cash this thing out because more and more people know there's going to be different presidential regimes coming in. Let's just wrap this up, while we can. No, they definitely took out Saddam Hussein because he tried to assassinate George Bush Sr. when he was on a diplomatic trip. He tried to have him assassinated. And that was a private mission that took place. And George Bush Jr. took exception to that. And Clinton, while he was in the election with Bob Dole, this happened during that time. And then in the middle of the election, Clinton had to authorize a strike on, just out of the blue, an immediate strike on it, on Saddam Hussein. So just because he was out of White House don't mean you can try to have a man assassinated. And when George Bush Jr. got in there, he wanted to rectify that. That was personal with him. Now, I just gave y'all some Patreon stuff for free. So now, yeah, we'll go into more detail on that on the Patreon. It's a lot of stuff that led to a very quick strike. And it was in the middle of an election. So Bob Dole had to be brought in and briefed because they were in the middle of an election. And they were like, is Clinton using this to get votes? Like, you don't go to war. No, you don't do that to get votes. You know, it was something he had to be briefed on, and he was briefed and realized it was something that had to happen right then and there at that time. I never seen anything that would suggest something other than, I don't really get what everybody else is so up in arms about, because the narratives just don't make any sense. Mm-hmm. No, well, take this into consideration. Look at this. I'm gonna tell you how it plays out. The Picture this, right? Let's say Diddy throws a party. Oh yeah, Chappelle knows it too. Oh yeah, if you go on the Patreon, you're gonna find all this out. We're getting into all the grease. Cause see, you gotta understand something. This thing it goes deeper than anybody could ever imagine. You see, there are other people and parties involved that are not even mentioned. Why their names were not mentioned and brought up in the lawsuit And the people that were, like Lucian Grange is somebody you don't even bring up in a lawsuit. So now UMG is going to sue. And what y'all didn't know is that the lawsuit was thrown out. Like they took down the lawsuit and refiled another one. They modified it. And what UMG said, y'all took the other lawsuit down and filed another one, which even more slanderous lies. Yeah, he said it was the year of reckoning, so everybody believed it was. This is the year of the truth. And I'm like, every year should be the year of the truth. This is the year of the truth. I've made this a synagogue where people can come in and tell everybody how they feel. What am I supposed to do? This whole industry is a cabal. It's a consortium. And here's the thing that is not funny because it's true. Is we all know this. Listen, Cat Williams didn't say anything right. They didn't say anything wrong. Everything he said, you already knew. He really didn't say too much of anything that nobody in the world didn't know. Let's be realistic. Did Cat Williams say anything that you didn't know that was a complete shock? He just brought back to light things you have forgotten about. They made Ludacris cut his hair. And now it was two people in the room. It was Ludacris and it was Cat Williams. And they said, we gonna go with the other guy. But when Cat Williams say something, he said, curious question, do TSA still make you take your shoes off going to the airport? Some airports they do, some airports they do not. You could pay where you don't even have to go through the dogs no more. If you get like the early access thing, you ain't even got to go through checkup like everybody else. You just walk to your plane. You just pay extra to do it. You could easily do whatever you pretty much want to do if you really was trying to do that. It just would take some effort, but it's not impossible. My thing is, if Diddy's going to jail, what about Ellen DeGeneres? You see what I'm saying? You haven't heard them talk about the Ellen stories. She still got her show, don't she? Now, you start adding these things up. LeBron James' right-hand man is Diddy. Is he standing up next to Diddy right now? Nope. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. That ain't gonna age well. Nothing Diddy did is gonna age well.
You been mind fucked before?
I don't think so.
I'm mind fucking you right now.
You are?
Can you feel my dick fucking your mind?
I can't really feel anything.
See, that's it. That's the art of it. I'm mind fucking the shit out of you.
Hope you're wearing a condom, because I have a dirty mind.
So now when you start seeing stuff like that, well, you always gonna have narratives. And as long as there's narratives in place, these type of situations always rear their head back up and nobody says a thing. So when you start seeing it like play out, oh hell yeah. All of it's null and void. Jay-Z is out the country right now. There's a lot of people nervous about what's happening with Diddy because they know in association of what's going on, they're lawyering up. Well, by saying that, you can get people hurt. No, no, that's not the case. Well, Diddy had to sell Carisha Please because there's some paperwork there that's you can have the tax man and tax evasion could be coming in there. See, young Miami don't really understand what's going on in that situation. That's what I'm saying. This thing is so big, y'all don't even know all the stuff that he's going through. Oh, the people that's protected that they think is somebody who just plays with people's heart and ruin them and keep continuously ruining these women is common. Like their women are starting, black women are starting to say, he just comes in and messes up people's lives. You got to get rid of him. There's something going on emotionally with him. Well, Diddy wasn't happy. Young Miami moved on. But he knew it was just too much noise going on with Young Miami to keep her on, the payroll. But he was helping her with her brand. They had a business arrangement. So everything was everything. But then she went on and started dating a dude who still married. So Diddy was like, that's a bad move, giving her advice still. Did Diddy sleep with Little Kim? Man, y'all asking some Patreon questions. So we gonna get into all of that. Man, look. These people are so good at lying and manipulating that they play these games and they end up getting dragged because what they do is they create narratives that is not necessarily true. So if you create a narrative that's not necessarily true, people gonna look at you and say, "Oh, you fake as hell. You ain't real." Oh, there's so much going on. Y'all don't really know too much about a lot of it. Hmm. Oh no, that's not what you. Oh no, man. It was look. That's a whole different Patreon situation that has something to do with Doja Cat and her brother and all this stuff. Doja Cat got another brother. They some mixed up people. They very screwed up individuals. Both of them drug influenced and everything. So, right, Doja Cat is all messed up by race and everything, and she's been called all kind of things, and that's why but she keep running to the people that disrespect her. I'm just like, man, that's crazy. And that video, when they played it, and those people were disrespecting her, and she just taking it, it just shows the mental minds job that they do on you is incredible. These people weren't even celebrities, and she is famous, and she's just sitting there taking it. Right, Boosie called out Cassie and saying she enjoyed those freak offs, and she lying about it. She was all with it. Somebody said Diddy forced Tupac into a freak off. That's just people that's real stupid and don't know any better. Oh, a car blew up? Who could it be? A fresh El Camino Rotten Kilo G's. We knew why that car blew up. Man, his son just got mafia lawyers. They got the lawyers that defended El Chapo and Gotti Jr. Well, Young Miami and a lot of people are gonna blame Diddy. Like, people don't want to work with me now because I dated Diddy. They're gonna blame Diddy for everything. Oh, come on now. Kim Porter and Cassie Both do what they were. They didn't want to give up the lifestyle. Cassie did not want to give up the lifestyle. She knew exactly who she was with. She knew exactly what she was doing. She did not want to give up the lifestyle. Nah, man, this is crazy because the whole industry don't know, and this is what you finna find out on the Patreon this month. You finna be blown away. Y'all gonna find out it's a whole lot of stuff going on in this industry. Y'all look at the males, y'all don't look at the females. Y'all don't look at the females. What did you think Chris Kardashian did? She pimped her daughters out. But we're gonna save all that for the Patreon. We're going way too far now into realms y'all don't know nothing about. This Hollywood game we know. I saw the Quiet on the Set, and boy, I can't wait to talk about that. Oh no, there was all kind of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. See, LeBron's your friend only till he ain't no more. Well, when you can when you have people that will deliver for you and come through for you in the clutch, then you could say that. But until then, It's always drama to those who don't know what drama is. Nope. No. I'm reading it right now. He said, probably trying to see me weak. He said, y'all get knocked off the line, sent back to the beginning. That's wild. Now, everybody has a situation that doesn't align what other people see as the standards. You have these people that create lies and rumors based on something that they've seen off the internet. And now they're putting all these laws for this deep fake stuff. But if you look at the masses of everything that's been going on for the last 6, 7 months, you starting to see that there's a trend. With all these people going around spreading lies and false information. It's a growing trend of it. You've seen Jay-Z come to a position of power fast. You've seen puppets in the game, or guys that they call puppets. You've seen this industry, which is ran by people with power. They don't let you ascend to power if you're not going to play ball. Denzel Washington is one of those guys who was able to get through without having to play ball, because they came at him at a time where he came up in the 80s, the 90s. So he made his bones before he even had to go that far. He already made his run. So when he made his run, they couldn't do nothing to him. He had already did what he needed to do. Now you got 6, 7, maybe 8 guys involved who didn't understand what the process may be or what it entailed. But one thing's for sure, 2 things for certain. They weren't going to sit back and let it fail. Well, you have a lot of people. Well, when Denzel came up in the game, he had like Martin Scorsese and all these guys who saw talent in him right away. And they knew that, okay, we got this guy. He's a great talent. Came up at a theater, and Denzel was just came on the scene and exploded. He was in the right kind of roles. And those roles, like him doing it, playing Glory and all that, those roles blew him up because he was willing to play that role. That took him to a whole nother upper echelon because he was willing to take that role and play the slave role. You got to do the slave role. That's going to open the doors for you. Michael Clark Duncan couldn't get nothing but a B role in all the movies he's ever been in. No one could see his acting talents that he possessed because he was so big, nobody wanted to see him do anything. But until he played in the Green Mile, he played this big old country dude who was healing all the white folk, and they still trying to put electricity through his vein. Just so long. When he played that old big old country guy. And when he did that, boom, there you go. Oh no, Fruitvale Station would have never happened. See, they came up different. You see, Michael B. Jordan was already making movies. Y'all just didn't see those films. They were making Michael B. Jordan, the suburban black guy who was with white kids. He was in a movie called That Awkward Moment with Miles Teller himself, and there was another white guy in there. I can't think of his name right now. He's the guy that's always, they've been trying to make him a superstar for years. He was from the musical, High School Musical, Zac Efron. So it's Zac Efron, Miles Teller, and Michael B. Jordan. Those are the three black actors they're trying to boost up. He was in Chronicle, the superpower movie. They were trying to boost all three of those actors up by making them like all best friends and making them like the Brat Pack. And you guys are going to come up together. But Zac Efron already, they had like zero chemistry. But Michael B. Jordan was like all just weak in the movie and everything. Like, yeah, I think I love my girl. Yeah, and I'm in love with her. Yeah, dude. It was the most suburban ass movie I've ever seen in my life. No real black people have seen this movie, probably except for me. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now, I'm going to tell you another part of this. Now, Fruitvale Station came forward to fruition because of the director. That director grabbed Michael B. Jordan and said, hey, Stu, yeah, we're going to get him and right. And this is what got Michael B. Jordan the black audience. Because then nobody black knew him. So he went and got up with a guy because Forrest Whitaker paid for that movie. He took him and mentored him, everything. Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler got Fruitvale Station because of Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker took him under his wing and said, hey, I'm a mentor you. You're going to be all right. Yeah, this is a good one. That's why Ryan Coogler, he don't have the pronunciations. He don't speak right. He speak like he from the hood. But you know what he do? He get down. And they gave him a Marvel $200 million budget on a film. And he delivered. Y'all talk about Wakanda Forever. Man, that movie kind of sucked. Guess what? It made money. When all those other Marvel movies was failing, Wakanda Forever held on. It made money, B. Well, it was disheartening to a lot of people because I will never forget where I was when I found out Chadwick Boseman passed away. He felt like a family member. You know, that felt like, man, that was a blow to the heart. You know, that felt powerful. That didn't feel like no regular passing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let me get this Patreon work going. So y'all finna be blown away on the Patreon because I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna do my thing. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Ticket TV, Dreamers Pro, Mondo Black TV. Absolutely. Everybody who keeping it real. And I'm up out.